Trayambakam yajavahe. So this is the opening line for Trayambakam. So this was one of the first mantras that I learned, and it's a healing mantra. And I actually had to learn it because it was a test for one of my first ever yoga teacher trainings. And I'm going to come back. I'm going to share that video with you for Trayambakam just a little bit later in this video. So I chose this mantra because the world could use a little bit more healing energy right now. And I think that, we can all use that healing energy, but I think in particular, considering all of the different things that we're going through right now, the world can use a little bit more of a healing mantra. So I want to dive into just a little bit around Hindu mythology here. So Chandra in Sanskrit actually means moon, and it can actually, bulan in Bahasa Indonesia is moon and month, but Chandra also means moon, and there's an understanding of Chandra here in Bali too, and the importance of the moon weighs in and out of this beautiful culture and religion all the time. I mean, the number of celebrations and sambayang and upachahara, so religious engagements, are always centered around what's happening with the moon on any given day, and that has a direct impact on what happens. Is this a good moon day? Is this a good lunar day for us to do any given ceremony? So the Chandra, and of course we are in Bali here, which is a derivative of Hinduism and this Tirtha or water religion here in Bali, the Balinese Hindu religion. So the Chandra, the moon, has a very complex history in Hindu mythology, and this particular mantra came about because in Hindu mythology, the moon is said to have a disastrous love affair. So Chandra, the moon, marries 27 wives. Oh, that's a lot. So one of which is Rohini, which is the most favoured wife. So she's the favourite of the 27. So the other 26 wives got very, very bloody upset about that. They got very mad. And they said, this Rohini, she's taken our Chandra, and I'm not down with it. So the other 26 wives became very bloody upset. And after knowing that Chandra spent more time with Rohini, the wives complained to Daksha. Daksha placed a curse on Chandra. I curse you, Chandra. I curse you. If this was a puppet show, I think I'd be doing pretty well right now. And Chandra began to die. Today we see this partial death as the waning of the moon. So waxing is where the moon starts to get bigger, and waning is where it reduces in size. So this is like the partial death or the waning of the moon, that reduction in the size from full moon coming into those little cheese slices that we know. So that's kind of sad. So Chandra turned to Shiva, and Shiva gave Chandra this healing mantra, Trayambakam. And this healing mantra was dedicated to Shiva, and Chandra then devoted himself to Shiva, reciting the mantra Trayambakam over and over and over again, until Shiva partially released him from the curse upon seeing his dedication to healing and to Shiva. Upon seeing this, Shiva then took the image of the moon and placed that image of the moon in his hair as decoration. So often when you see images of Shiva, you'll see that he has the waning moon as part of his decoration. We see the moon resting in Shiva's hair, and we see the moon today move through the waxing and waning cycles. Isn't that a fabulous story? I love Hindu mythology for some of these things, and it really makes me stop and think, because there's aspects of that story that talk about the healing. So as we see Chandra dying and the moon waning, which is him dying, and then his dedication through mantra and vibration, bringing him back into health. And if we look at mantra and vibration, the inhale through the nose, and I'll just use Om as the example, Om Trayambakam, Om Trayambakam Yajavahe. So that Om, the vibration and the nitric oxide that's being sent into the body through that vibration, creating the healing that's going to happen within the body, because we know now that nitric oxide, as it floods the paranasal sinuses, and with the humming on that third syllable of Om, sending that nitric oxide down into the body, and it being a vasodilator and opening up all the blood vessels so that fresh oxygen can get into the body. That's science, my friends. And this is mantra, science and mantra. So science and philosophy, science and these ancient systems that we have in place. You can't ignore the connection of both of those amazing things. And then we add to that the story that sits behind this of the waxing and waning moon, and how that has been woven into Hindu mythology. And we are able to dive in and take a sip from that mythological cup and bring that story into our life here today. I am going to share with you that video on Trayambakam, that first mantra that I learned. You'll hear me singing and hopefully not making too many mistakes through that mantra. I'll also pop a link in to the bottom of the content for this particular video so that you can search some YouTube Om Trayambakam that I really like. There are heaps on iTunes too, and if you search Spotify, you are sure to find some there as well. My yogi friends, enjoy Om Trayambakam.